America's Funniest Woman just delivered the performance of her career. The studio audience sat in stunned silence. The crew was fighting back tears. Awards would follow, yet Carol never watched that episode again. Not once, not ever. The sketch was too real, too raw, hitting closer to home than anyone could imagine. What she revealed in those few minutes would haunt her for the rest of her life. Carol Burnett was born on April 26, 1933, in San Antonio, Texas, into a family that seemed to offer little warmth or safety. Her parents, both consumed by alcoholism, were largely absent in her life, leaving young Carol to navigate a world of neglect and instability. From the earliest years, she learned to cope with loneliness and fear by creating laughter, not for herself, but for the fleeting comfort it brought to others. The pain of abandonment could have broken her, but it instead laid the foundation for the resilience and creativity that would define her career. When Carol was just a child, her grandmother, Mabel White, became her anchor. In 1940, they left Texas for Hollywood, seeking a new beginning. But there was no glamour waiting for them. Only a cramped, run-down boarding house filled with others struggling through hardship. Every day was a lesson in survival. They scraped by on meager funds, sometimes stealing necessities like toilet paper from movie theaters out of pure necessity. And yet, within these harsh walls, Carol discovered the transformative power of imagination. To escape her painful reality, she invented a twin sister named Karen. Karen was everything Carol was not: confident, radiant, perpetually joyful. So convincing was this creation that even the adults around them treated Karen as real. Through Karen, Carol learned a fundamental truth about performance. Sometimes giving people someone to believe in can be a gift more powerful than any comfort you can offer yourself. Carol's early love for comedy found another outlet in mimicry. She became obsessed with Johnny Weissmuller's famous Tarzan yell, replicating every pitch and rhythm with astonishing precision. To her, it was a playful game, but it was also the beginning of a skill set that would later bring audiences to tears and laughter alike. By the time she was 7, she had already discovered that humor could be a shield, a way to survive a world determined to crush her spirit. Her ambitions extended beyond survival. Carol dreamed of studying journalism at UCLA, inspired by her mother's unrealized aspiration to write. But with only $50 to pay her tuition, the dream seemed out of reach, until an anonymous stranger stepped in, providing the exact amount she needed. No strings, no explanation, only the chance to pursue her future. Once at UCLA, a single theater class changed everything. Carol discovered a fearless, vibrant self within the classroom, a version of herself that was funny, bold, and alive. In 1954, a chance encounter at a party in San Diego would change the course of Carol Burnett's life forever. There, she met a sharply dressed shipbuilding millionaire from La Jolla, a man whose generosity came with a simple request: never reveal his name. Without hesitation, he offered Carol and her boyfriend, Don Soyen, $1,000 each, enough for a bold leap of faith. Fueled by dreams of Broadway, the couple left UCLA behind and headed east to New York, carrying with them only ambition, hope, and the anonymous gift that would ignite their futures. Life in New York was far from glamorous. Carol moved into the rehearsal club, a boarding house that housed young women striving to break into the performing arts. For $18 a week, she shared a small room with 4 other actresses, a single bathroom, and a tiny closet. Nights were spent working to make ends meet, and days were devoted to rehearsals and auditions. The struggle was constant, but Carol's spirit remained unbroken. Every obstacle was a challenge to her determination, and every setback a reminder that her dream was worth the fight. Her first real breakthrough came in 1955 through something entirely unexpected: a comedic love song about John Foster Dulles, the notoriously serious U.S. Secretary of State. The performance was absurd, over the top, and yet delivered with perfect timing and charm. Audiences laughed, television producers took notice, and soon Carol found herself performing on some of the era's most prominent shows, including The Jack Paar Show and The Ed Sullivan Show. It was her ability to take something ridiculous and make it irresistibly funny that began to set her apart. The pinnacle of her early career arrived in 1959 when she starred in the musical Once Upon a Mattress. The production was a sensation, running for an astonishing 470 performances. Critics lauded Carol's performance, and audiences were captivated by her unique blend of humor, charm, and timing. Yet the show's success also revealed something profound. Carol Burnett was irreplaceable. The moment she left the production, it quickly faltered, a testament to the singular talent she brought to the stage and the void left by her absence. By the end of the decade, Carol had not only earned fame and recognition, but had also established a reputation for brilliance, resilience, and a gift for making audiences laugh in ways they had never imagined. This period of her life laid the foundation for her later television career, showing that behind the comedy, there was a woman whose dedication, ingenuity, and courage were unparalleled. A woman ready to transform every hardship into performance, every struggle into laughter. From 1959 to 1962, Carol Burnett steadily built her television career, appearing on shows like The Gary Moore Show, where her talent quickly caught the attention of industry insiders. In 1962, she earned her first Emmy, a milestone that marked the beginning of what would become an extraordinary legacy. That same year, she shared the Carnegie Hall stage with Julie Andrews for a celebrated music night, earning 3 major awards, including another Emmy, solidifying her reputation as a performer of rare versatility and charm. These achievements were more than accolades. They were proof that Carol's unique blend of humor, intelligence, and timing resonated deeply with audiences and critics alike. The true turning point came on September 11, 1967, with the premiere of The Carol Burnett Show. The program would go on to run for an impressive 11 seasons, attracting an average of 30 million viewers each week. Its impact on television was immediate and profound. Carol was not merely hosting a variety show, she was shattering barriers in a male-dominated industry. For the first time, a woman commanded a prime-time variety program with authority, wit, and creative vision. Her success paved the way for countless future performers, while also laying the groundwork for programs such as Saturday Night Live, which would later adopt a similarly irreverent and groundbreaking approach to comedy. Throughout the show's 11-year run, The Carol Burnett Show amassed a staggering 25 Emmy Awards across categories, including writing, music, production, and outstanding variety program. The team behind her was just as remarkable. Harvey Korman brought refined theatrical skills and impeccable timing, while Tim Conway introduced a controlled chaos that kept performances unpredictable and electrifying. Both men, alongside Carol, would receive multiple Emmys, demonstrating the extraordinary collaborative energy that defined the series. Carol herself was recognized repeatedly for her brilliance, taking home back-to-back Golden Globes in 1977 and 1978 for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. Her on-screen persona balanced warmth, intelligence, and comedic dexterity, while also allowing moments of vulnerability that resonated with viewers. This combination of talent, daring, and relatability transformed the show into a cultural phenomenon. Audiences laughed, cried, and marveled at her performances, understanding that beneath the comedy lay a performer of remarkable depth, capable of conveying joy and heartbreak in equal measure. By the end of the 1970s, Carol Burnett had firmly cemented her place in entertainment history. She was no longer just a comedian or actress, she was a trailblazer, a symbol of what women could achieve in a competitive, often unforgiving industry. The Carol Burnett Show didn't just entertain, it redefined the possibilities of television comedy, proving that humor could be sophisticated, heartfelt, and transformative, all at the same time. By the 7th season of The Carol Burnett Show, the pressures of sustaining excellence were beginning to take their toll. Harvey Korman, one of Carol's closest collaborators, considered leaving the show due to growing dissatisfaction with the direction of their sketches. Carol, however, confronted him directly. She was not confrontational for the sake of argument. She simply believed in honesty and clarity. With firmness and empathy, she persuaded him to stay, but only under one condition. He had to return with the joy and energy that had originally made him a partner in her comedic vision. Korman agreed, and together they continued creating moments that would be etched in television history. Meanwhile, Tim Conway's unpredictable style brought both chaos and brilliance to every live taping. He had one unbreakable rule: never reveal his full performance in rehearsals. By keeping his best improvisations secret, he ensured that each live show contained elements of surprise for his castmates and the audience alike. The resulting sketches were alive with spontaneity, blending meticulous timing with moments of pure, unrepeatable comedy. For Carol, working with Conway required a delicate balance of control and trust, a challenge she navigated masterfully. It was during this period, in 1977, that Carol chose to push the boundaries of her own artistry. As part of the recurring The Family series, she filmed a sketch called The Gong Show, featuring her character Eunice Higgins, a woman weighed down by disappointment and longing. Unlike typical sketches, there were no punchlines, no exaggerated accents, and no moments of comic relief. The scene captured Eunice's raw despair as she sang with desperate hope, only to be cruelly mocked by the judges. For the crew, it was almost unbearable. Tears were fought back, and silence filled the studio in place of laughter. Carol herself later admitted that performing the sketch felt like revisiting every painful moment of her life, from childhood abandonment to the struggle to prove herself as a performer. The episode aired only once, and critics hailed it as a masterpiece, praising its honesty and emotional weight. It would inspire future works, including the 1982 television film Eunice and the sitcom Mama's Family, though Carol never fully embraced the comedic direction of the latter. Yet, for all its acclaim, Carol has never watched that performance again. 47 years later, it remains a singular, untouchable piece of her career, an extraordinary testament to the power of storytelling, but also a reminder of the personal cost of revealing one's deepest truth to the world. In this single sketch, Carol Burnett transformed laughter into something far more profound, an unflinching portrayal of human vulnerability, a mirror to her own life experiences, and a moment that proved television could convey tragedy as convincingly as it could deliver comedy. It was a moment of courage, and it was heartbreakingly real. Carol Burnett's life beyond the stage was marked by struggles and heartbreak as profound as any she had ever portrayed in her sketches. In 1955, she married Don Soyan, a young man who shared her dreams of success. Yet the marriage was fraught with challenges, both personal and emotional. Don carried the weight of previous loss, including the death of a child, and battled depression and alcoholism. The pressures of Carol's burgeoning career only compounded their difficulties, and by 1962, the marriage ended. Despite the heartbreak, Carol continued to pursue her passion, determined not to let personal tragedy derail her ambitions. Soon after, Carol married Joe Hamilton in 1963, a successful television producer. Together, they had 3 children, while Joe brought 8 children from previous relationships into their family. The blended household offered joy, but also complexity, requiring patience and resilience. In 1976, Carol faced a very public battle when the National Enquirer published false claims that she had been drinking heavily at a restaurant. Refusing to let her reputation be tarnished, she filed a lawsuit that lasted 5 years and ultimately changed the landscape of tabloid journalism, demonstrating her commitment to truth and justice both on and off screen. The most painful chapter came with her eldest daughter, Carrie, who began struggling with severe drug addiction at the age of 13. Carol watched helplessly as her child cycled through treatment centers, ran away, and made choices that broke her heart. She faced impossible decisions, often standing firm in the hope that tough love would save her daughter, even when Carrie resented her for it. Eventually, Carol's persistence paid off. Carrie overcame her addiction, pursued an acting career, and built a life of her own. Yet tragedy struck again in 2002, when Carrie passed away at just 38 from metastatic lung cancer, leaving Carol with a grief that was both immediate and enduring. In 2001, Carol married Brian Miller, 23 years her junior, who became a steadfast partner during the darkest periods following Carrie's death. Together, in the 2020s, Carol and Brian assumed guardianship of her grandson Dylan as her youngest daughter, Erin, struggled with addiction and mental health challenges. Through it all, Carol's resilience, honed through decades of personal loss, career triumphs, and relentless public scrutiny, remained unshakable. Her family life, though marked by suffering, became a testament to her unwavering commitment to love, responsibility, and survival, mirroring the same courage that had carried her through every stage of her extraordinary career. Even in the twilight of her extraordinary career, Carol Burnett continued to surprise audiences with performances that were both daring and moving. At the age of 89, she made a stunning return to television in the final season of Better Call Saul, portraying Marion, a character whose few scenes were immediately praised as some of the series' most intense and memorable moments. Her presence on screen reminded the world that even decades after her variety show days, Carol could command attention with subtlety, precision, and emotional depth. Earlier, in 1997, Carol had won an Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress for her role as Teresa in the sitcom Mad About You. This accolade demonstrated her extraordinary ability to adapt her comedic timing and dramatic instincts across a variety of genres, seamlessly transitioning between sketch comedy, sitcoms, and more nuanced character work. During the 2000s, she expanded into voice acting for animated films, most notably lending her voice to the 2008 blockbuster Horton Hears a Who, which earned nearly $300 million worldwide, proving her talent could enchant audiences of all ages. Carol also returned to the Broadway stage in 1999 with the Stephen Sondheim musical Putting It Together, where her musical skills and seasoned stage presence captivated theatergoers once again. Even after decades of experience, she brought a freshness and vitality to the performance, reaffirming her reputation as a performer who could effortlessly blend humor, heart, and technical excellence. In 2022, at the remarkable age of 91, Carol took the lead in the Apple TV Plus series Palm Royale, earning an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actress. She became the oldest woman ever nominated in Emmy history, a testament to both her enduring talent and her fearless commitment to her craft. The series itself received 11 Emmy nominations, further highlighting Carol's continued relevance and influence in the entertainment world. Critics praised her nuanced, graceful performance, noting that even in her 9th decade, she could convey complexity, vulnerability, and wit with effortless skill. Carol Burnett's story is a testament to resilience, talent, and the human spirit. She transformed pain into laughter, heartbreak into performance, and left an indelible mark on generations of viewers. Yet that one 1977 episode remains untouchable, a reminder that even the strongest among us carry moments too raw to face. What do you think it would take to confront a truth so personal, even decades later? Could you watch a moment that shows your deepest vulnerabilities? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of remarkable lives that shaped the world of entertainment.